When you look at the greater Waco, Temple, Killeen area, the biggest story in the big schools, 5A, 6A, is Midway and Waco High going to Dallas. When you look at that draw, you guys have Midway in fourth, not because Midway's bad, but because Midway's in with Duncanville, DeSoto, and Cedar Hill. When you look at 11-6A, what are your thoughts on the two teams from here in Waco?
So the UIL, every 2 years when the UIL does realignment, there's always a couple of teams that I would say come up on the short end of the stick. I don't think there's any doubt that this year in 6A, Hewitt, Midway, and Waco got a pretty tough draw. You know, not only the travel aspect of having to go north to DFW, but who they're going up there to see. They're going up there to see some of the very best teams along I-20. When you talk about Duncanville, a squad that is coming off of back-to-back state championship game appearances, DeSoto, of course, was a state champion a couple of years ago. Cedar Hill has won a number of state championships in this decade. Not to mention, by the way, some really good Mansfield programs. Mansfield, very strong. Mansfield Lake Ridge played for a title back in 2015. A rising Waxahachie squad. This is an absolutely brutal district that they are thrust into. Now, look, I don't think they're going to come in afraid. I think that Hewitt Midway's got a chance to make some noise. I really think that they've got an opportunity, especially depending on how the defense really comes along. With that defense, which is going to be relatively young, if they can gel, I think they've got a chance to make some noise. Look, for Waco High, obviously a program that's been struggling recently, but I think that on the defensive side they have a chance to make some strides. I think that they, furthermore, everybody loves an underdog story, right? Waco High is going to be an underdog in a lot of their games this year. If they're able to put together a defense, which may in fact be the coin of the realm there in District 11, 6A, if they can put together a defense, they can make some noise, maybe challenge for that final playoff spot. But make no mistake, 11, 6A is a meat grinder, and Midway and Waco got thrown right into it.
With that move, 12-6A, is this the best shot Temple's going to have in the 6A ranks at winning a district title with Midway gone?
Oh, 100%. This is a really, really good draw for Temple. And I think that, with all due respect to squads in Killeen, Belton, Coppers Cove, Bryan, et cetera, this Temple enters the year, I would say, at least as the favorite and arguably the prohibitive favorite to win the District 12 6A title, especially when you take a look at again, the defense that they bring back. I really think Scott Stewart's going to have a lot of really talented and experienced playmakers on that defensive side. Now, the offense has got to come along, and they've got to figure some things out, especially up front. The offensive line is going to need a little bit of seasoning to make sure they are able to put it all together. But I think that this is the big year for Temple to win that district championship. I think they're the favorite, and if they put things together, especially if that offense comes along as we think it could, then this could be the year the Wildcats get that district title.
Is this the year of the Killeen school? You've got 3 Killeen schools in the playoffs this year out of 12-6A, with Shoemaker second, Harker Heights third, Ellison fourth, and then Killeen at fifth. Is this the year for Killeen ISD?
I think Killeen ISD has been on the rise very quietly for the past couple of years. I think that because they don't play for a state championship, because they don't not put together those 10-win seasons, that maybe they fly a little bit under the radar. But I think Killeen ISD is in a really, really good spot right now, and the depth there is really impressive. Look, Shoemaker leads the pack here. I'm really excited to see what they do. They have a really experienced squad that I know they're very excited about down there in Gray Wolves country. Harker Heights has been a team that I know the record last year was not pretty, right? 4-7. But at the same time, I think they've got the right experience in the right places. If they can find some offensive line to really round things out, I think Harker Heights has a chance to really make some noise and challenge anybody in that district. Ellison, to me, represents the sleeper in the district. I think that they are going to have one of the very best running games in Central Texas. And if they're able to grind that out and maybe keep that defense, which does have to replace about half their starters, if they can use that running game and keep that defense fresh, I think they're the sleeper. I think Ellison is that squad that could make that big leap. And by the way, let's not count out Killeen High. We don't have them in the playoffs right now, but I really like what they have coming back. This is a squad that I think is going to have a really fun group of defenders that know each other really well. In a time where you weren't able to get together as much as you wanted in the offseason, having experience in the secondary, I think, is going to be really important. And they bring back almost their entire secondary. That's something I'm really interested in. Killeen is going to be a squad that we have them 5th, But I think that really, you have Temple at the top, but then those Killeen schools, I think you've got 4 schools, maybe add in Belton if they can figure things out offensively. If they are able to do that, I think you've got a 5-way race for 3 spots.
Real quick, Waco University, our lone 5A school, they're still in with the champs. They're still in with Everman. They're still in with Timberview. What do you like, and what are the Trojans' chances this year?
So let's start with what I like about this Trojans team. I think that last year was a really important year for the growth of that program. I know that it didn't end in the playoffs. I know it didn't end the way that they wanted to, but you've got to crawl before you walk. And this is a university program that's been struggling for a while. For them to just get some wins under their belt and to remember what it's like to win, that is so important. Look, that said, they're thrust into a very difficult district. Obviously, with Aledo, I think Mansfield Timberview has a chance to be very, very good this year as well. They're thrust into a very difficult district. I love what they bring back up front offensively. I think their offensive line has a chance to be one of the best in that district, but it's almost a complete rebuild on the defense, and especially up front in that front 7. That's going to tell the tale for the Trojans. If that front 7 is able to put things together, I feel like maybe they've got a chance to make some noise. But that's where it's going to lie. If that front 7 can reload and on the fly, then they're going to have a chance to finish better than we predict them in Dave Campbell's Texas football. But I do think that offensive line is going to be the core of what could be a pretty surprising Trojan squad.
Okay, and that does it for the big schools here in our area.